Okay, welcome to OLL 319. This is a Systems of Psychotherapy course, so it'll be talking about all the different kinds of psychotherapy. Um, and this is the introductory video for the course, so if you're watching this, the idea of the video is to give you a brief overview of the course and also to explain sort of how the modules work, what to expect, how to do well, and to hopefully help orient you a little bit. Feel free to speed up these videos or skip them if they're not useful to you. I try to make them fairly short and hopefully, vaguely understandable. So, my name's Rowan. I'm the graduate student who sort of built the framework of this course, at least the information side of it. So any problems that you have with the course are probably my fault. So we'll go over some of Unit 0, the intro here. And so we've got the syllabus in this unit, and then it will go over some of the course structure. We'll talk a little bit about why we're even teaching this course, which is the fact that there are many competing therapies and that it's important to understand them if you're going to be accessing or working with psychological services in any way. You want to know something about the ideological debates that are going on and about the very many different approaches that you can take. And we'll talk a little bit about maybe some potential personal connections to the subject matter, and then we'll go into just some general sort of learning how to learn and learning strategies. There's a lot of research out there on how to effectively learn things. The cognitive psych people have done a great job at learning that, or researching it and publishing that. And so I've tried to condense some of that. Hopefully that's useful to you. There's certainly things that you could, I think, apply to many different courses in your life. And we'll talk a little bit about different sort of levels of learning and how you can use this information in your life. And then at the end, there's a Q&A section in this unit that hopefully will address some of the common questions instead of just creating more. All right. And if you haven't zoned out by now, then congratulations. Hopefully this will be continue to be useful, and this video won't be too long. So, course structure-wise, this course is made up of like a couple of modules, 8 or 9 like modules, right? And each one more or less focuses on one or two psychological what are called orientations, or it's almost like philosophical positions in life, or well, not in life, in psychology, right? There's if you have a single disorder like depression, there's 300 different ways that you could treat that, and some of them are less maybe effective or research based than others. But even among the ones that are fairly research-based, there's a lot of debate over what the best way to do it is in different circumstances and with different people. And so this is not intended to give really strong answers to that debate. Sort of the opposite, I suppose. It's mostly intended to expose you to all the different theories, all the different ways to approach psychology and psychotherapy. And hopefully that will be useful for you. So, I mean, you're here taking the course anyway, so might as well learn something, right? Yeah, so the main ones that we'll be going over, so we'll talk about psychodynamic therapy and its predecessor, psychoanalytic therapy, which is not really, you'll get into that in the unit, not very current. And then we'll talk about behaviorism, we'll talk about cognitive therapy and CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, which, full disclosure, that's my sort of worldview or where I'm coming from. So if I seem like I'm more positive or about that unit, then that's probably because I am. Then we'll talk a little bit about ACT, acceptance commitment therapy, and dialectical behavior therapy, which are sort of offshoots of the CBT movement. And then we'll move into some of the short modern therapies, such as solution-focused brief therapy. We'll talk about reality choice, and we'll talk about motivational interviewing. And then after that, there is a positive psychology and strengths-based therapy section or module, and then there's a multicultural one. So that would be all the different kinds of therapy, and at the very end there's a unit that sort of goes over comparing and contrasting all of them, and there's a big quiz at the end, a test at the end that's cumulative, that will cover all of the units. So hopefully that was helpful, made sense somehow, a little bit. Yeah, so that's pretty much what you need to know about this course. And I think, well, yeah, I think the rest of it you should probably be able to pick up as you go along. In general, each unit will have a chunk of information followed by a quiz, and then there will be a quiz at the end of each type of therapy. So usually it's 1 per unit. Every once in a while, I've put in 2 per unit or 3 with the short ones. Hopefully, and I've grouped them in a way that seems to make sense to me, and hopefully it sort of makes sense to you. But yeah, so feel free to reach out and let us know. This is my first time building a course. It's, I think, the first time a course like this has really been put together by U of L in a sort of asynchronous online platform. So there's probably going to be a lot of bugs, and if you're the first people taking this course, then I'm sorry, it might be a little bit of a rough ride as we sort of work out some of those bugs, but bear with us. I think this information is really useful. I think it will change, maybe if not change your life, it will certainly change the lives of people around you if you're able to refer them to services effectively. I think all of us know someone or are someone who needs or would benefit from psychological services. It's just a reality of the world we live in. And the more that you know, the more you'll be able to be an advocate and a supporter to people around you who need them, who need that sort of help. And I think there's some principles to apply to everybody, to sort of everyday life, especially in the sort of positive psych unit at the end. So that's my little spiel. I think this is a useful, beneficial course. I had a lot of fun building it, and hopefully it's something that you have a lot of fun working through. So reach out if you have any questions or feedback, and enjoy the course.